The court of England adored her. The newspapers praised her beauty. The crowds cheered her name louder than they cheered for the king himself. But none of them, not even the royal family, knew the truth. Queen Alexandra lived in a world without sound, and she spent her entire life making sure no one ever discovered it. Her story begins long before a crown ever touched her head, when she was just a young Danish princess. She was bright, gentle, full of life. And then suddenly she was struck by an illness so fierce that it left her ears damaged forever. At first, she tried to just listen harder. Then she tried to pretend nothing was wrong at all. But slowly, painfully, the world around her grew quieter and quieter. Voices started to fade into the distance. Footsteps became a blur of muffled thuds. Music, the one thing she loved most, disappeared completely. Doctors tried everything they could think of. Prayers were whispered in chapels. New treatments were tested, and every single one failed. By the time she married Prince Edward, the heir to the British throne, Alexandra was already living behind an invisible wall of silence. But no one could ever know. A future queen who was deaf, the British court would never accept it. The newspapers would attack her relentlessly. Her own husband might abandon her. So Alexandra began to hide her secret with the precision of a master. She learned to read lips flawlessly. She memorized the rhythm of conversations, learning when to nod, when to smile, when to look thoughtful. She practiced smiling at just the right moments, nodding at the perfect time, pretending she understood every single word, even when she understood none. Royal banquets were the hardest. Imagine dozens of guests all speaking at once. Laughter erupting across long tables, silverware clinking, and musicians playing in the corner. Alexandra would sit there, completely silent. Drowning in a sea of noise she couldn't actually hear, pretending she was part of it all. If a joke was told, she would watch the speaker's mouth move. Wait for that critical pause, and then laugh right when everyone else did. If someone greeted her, she would watch their lips with intense focus, repeating their words in her mind to piece together what they said. She became a perfect mirror, reflecting the world around her flawlessly, even though she couldn't hear it. And not once did she slip up. Not once did anyone realize the truth. Even Edward, her own husband, who was famous for his scandals and affairs, never understood the full depth of her silence. He simply believed she was a gentle, shy, and quiet person. He had no idea she couldn't hear him when he spoke from behind her. He didn't know that she learned the truth about his many affairs not through whispered words, but through observing faces, catching quick glances, and reading the movement of lips across crowded rooms. And yet, through all of this, she handled everything with incredible grace. Her deafness didn't weaken her. In a strange way, it strengthened her. Because when you can't hear, you begin to see everything. Alexandra saw discomfort in a person's posture before it ever turned into a conflict. She could sense lies before they were even spoken. She noticed emotions that others completely missed. The flicker of fear, the shadow of jealousy, the sting of betrayal, the weight of grief. She could read a man's true intentions in the subtle twitch of his jaw. She could read a woman's deepest secrets in the fleeting movement of her eyes. The court simply thought she had an unusual intuition. They whispered that she possessed a gift for empathy. They believed she understood people better than anyone else at court. They never realized why. Her silence was her greatest teacher. Her disability became her secret power. As the years passed and Edward finally became king, Alexandra became the quiet, steady heart of the monarchy. She soothed diplomatic tensions, she calmed political storms, and she charmed entire nations, all while pretending she heard every single word spoken to her. In reality, she heard almost nothing. It was only after she died that the truth finally came out. Doctors who had attended to her revealed what the Queen had spent an entire lifetime concealing. Queen Alexandra had been profoundly deaf for most of her adult life. The world was absolutely stunned. How could a woman who lived in complete silence become one of the most beloved queens in all of British history? Because Alexandra proved something truly extraordinary. She showed us that power doesn't always come from speaking loudly. Sometimes true power comes from enduring what others cannot. It comes from watching, from understanding, and from surviving challenges that others never even see. She was the queen who ruled without sound, the queen who listened with her eyes, the queen who carried a secret heavier than any crown. And she carried it all with a grace that echoes through history. If Queen Alexandra's hidden struggle moved you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your favorite topic you want me to cover next. Your support helps bring these forgotten queens back into the light.